So today we're going to be looking at the JBE, the Junction Box Electronics, and we're going to be looking at some of the bus signals. Now these are status flags that the JBE receives or broadcasts on the CAN bus. They're not direct sensor voltages, but we're going to look at what each line means and how to interpret what you're seeing. Now, terminal status, that's going to be terminal 15. Okay, what is terminal 15? Terminal 15 equals ignition on. So this status flag goes on when the ignition switch is in the run position, the key on. And basically it means engine is allowed to operate. When it's off, basically what we're seeing is the JB is basically saying the ignition is off. And this is normal if your key is out the ignition, or if your key is inserted but not turned. Not normal is if the key is in the run and this still shows in the off position. So terminal 15, that's basically means that your ignition is either on or off. Now, why it matters. If terminal 15 never turns on, then this means the DME will not fully wake up. Many engine functions may stay disabled, and it can cause a crank no start condition or no communication symptoms. Now, the next terminal status you want to look at is terminal 50. Okay, terminal 50 means a starter request. So basically, terminal 15, you'll see the status flag turn on while the key is in the start position. So while you're cranking the engine, you should see terminal 15 status go to the on position while the engine is being cranked. And off means that the starter is currently not being requested, so there's no requested operation of the starter if it's off. Now, what's an importance? So if you crank the engine and terminal 50 never switches on, then you may have an ignition switch issue. Or you could have a FemCast JBE logic issue or a immobilizer logic blocking crank. So far we learned about two status flags, terminal 15, that's ignition on, ignition off, and we know about terminal 50, 0, and that means when you're about to, when you're cranking the car. The next one we're going to look at is terminal R, and terminal R basically means accessory power. And accessory power, this is used for your radio, your cluster, and your accessories. That's key position number 1. When it's off, that means accessories are not requested, or if the key is out the ignition, you'll normally see terminal R in the off status. Now, if terminal R works but 15 does not, okay, terminal R works but 15 does not. And what is 15? 15 is ignition on. So if we have ignition on, guys, but terminal R does not work, then we could be looking at an ignition switch internal failure. That could be something that might occur. And then lastly, we're going to look at the vehicle speed via the CAN bus. And right now we're showing 0 miles per hour. Now the vehicle speed is broadcast on the CAN bus. And this is usually going to come from your DSC ABS module, your wheel speed sensors. So your wheel speed sensors, that information is being transmitted, or that signal from the wheel speed sensor is being transmitted to your DSC ABS module. And from there, it's going to be shared to the JBE, DME, cluster, etc., to the JBE. So that's how we get the vehicle speed via the CAN bus. Why is this important? If we do see the vehicle speed, we can determine that the CAN bus communication for speed is working. It can confirm that the JBE is alive, the CAN bus is functioning, and the DSC is at least partially communicating. Okay. So there you have it. So just a quick summary again. Some of the status flags that are in the JBE, the Junction Box Electronics. We have terminal 50, 15, 1, 5, that's ignition on and off. We have terminal 50, you'll see that turn on when you're actually cranking the engine. Terminal R is the accessory power, and vehicle speed via the CAN bus. Okay, there we go.